this is Angela McFarlane and you're stamping with aMac. For my tip of the week, I would like to show you that you can actually heat emboss in vellum. So for a card that I shared previously, I embossed this lighthouse in white on vellum before I cut it out. But on another project that I made, I wanted a night of navy lighthouse. So in this instance, instead of using the Versamark, which you normally use for heat embossing because it's nice and sticky, I just used our standard night of navy ink. You really need to be mindful that the ink does dry a lot faster, so you need to work pretty quickly when you stamp it. So this is just a sample that I prepared earlier, and you can do this in any color ink that you have, and then you just use a clear embossing powder over the top of it. So what I would do is use my embossing buddy just to go over my vellum. So that just removes any fingerprints off there. And then I would open up my Night of Navy ink, and I'm using the Sailing Home stamp set for this, and it also has some beautiful matching dies. This is a gorgeous set. It's so nicely made. Okay, I'll ink up my stamp, press down firmly and straight up, and then I'll really quickly sprinkle my embossing powder over the top of it so I don't let the ink dry at all, and I just put it into a container and I tap off the excess so I don't have any loose embossing powder around. And then, excuse the noise for a little bit, but I just get my bone folder and I just hold it down my vellum so it doesn't fly away. And I just get my heat embossing gun and I start setting the embossing powder. So this is a heat set embossing powder, and you can see it starting to change colour. And once it changes colour and goes shiny, that means it's nice and set. So you don't want to go too close to the image because you can overheat it, especially if you're doing it on paper. You can actually burn your paper if you go too close. But I just keep moving my heat gun around as well to distribute the heat evenly, and so it doesn't just heat up more in one spot than another. I just work my way down the whole image, and you can see how it's all changing colour. And once it's all nice and shiny, then all of the embossing powder has melted and we're right to go. So just give it one more go over, turn off my heat gun, pop on my lid for my embossing powder. So you don't want to touch this straight away because it will stay a little bit tacky while it's still warm. So you just want to cool it down before you touch it so everything stays in place. So now that's not tacky anymore, and you can see what a beautifully embossed image I have, how it's nice and shiny, and that's given me the color that I wanted to work in. So I hope you've enjoyed my tip of the week. Please leave me a comment or feel free to share it. I would really appreciate it. And you can use any ink that you have in your possession to emboss with, as long as you use a clear embossing powder over the top of it. Thank you for watching. Happy stamping. Have a great day.